Well, thank you guys for being with me again for another short sermon. You know what? We're going to be talking about childish people in the church today. Because Paul, the apostle, had to write to the church in Corinth. Because the Corinthians in the church was doing childlike things. And once Paul got word of what was going on, he had to write them a letter and basically ask them when they're going to grow up. Because you know today, if you ever wonder today, have you ever been in church and you got the biggest tire, somebody who's been tying into the church. Then all of a sudden he wants to tell everybody in the church, well, my brother-in-law is not preaching in the pulpit. And you guys told me he's going to preach in the pulpit. Well, maybe if he ain't preaching in the pulpit, he ain't ready. Maybe it's not his time to preach. Maybe he's not a preacher. But did you see the mindset of someone just because they're tying more than anybody, they feel they have the right to think they can call shots in the church. You guys see people like this in the church all the time. And what individuals like this don't know, if God blesses you abundantly with money to tithe more than anybody in the church, you have to respect that and pray to God that he put you in that position. But no, you're acting like a child with a child mind. And this is what Paul was talking about. A grown man with a child mind. When are you going to grow up? Someone's in the choir. Well, I've been in the choir for 5 years. I put this choir together, but now they want to change. Well, brother, they probably want to change because you're probably only feeling yourself. What if I can't lead the choir? I'm out of here. I'm leaving. Well, you're not leaving. You may be leaving the church, but you got to realize one thing. You're also leaving God behind your childish mind. You guys know these people in the church. Well, I've been sitting here in this row, front row, for the last 10, 15 years, and somebody wants to come and sit in my seat. Well, brother, I never heard of God told somebody that they had a personal seat in the church. And individuals like this will get up and leave the church because they're childish. And this is what Paul talks about. Let's get right into the script. Paul is actually, it's the book of 1 Corinthians. We're going to go to chapter, I believe it's chapter 13, verse 11. Let's read what Paul says about these individuals, how they act like a child. Let's hear the Apostle Paul, what he has to say. Because this is spiritual DNA. Anything this man says, you can't believe it because God put it in his heart to write the word. Because God put the spirit in him. You know, when these apostles, when these prophets, when they wrote the Bible, God was guiding them through spiritually. So everything that they wrote had to have been okay from God. But let's get into the script right now and listen to what Paul has to say. Paul goes on to say, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 11. Paul goes on to say, when I was a child, I spoke and thought and reasoned as a child. But when I grew up, I put away childish things. And this is the thing, brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to tell you. If you have that childlike mind, when are you going to put it away? This is Paul talking to you. Paul said, when are you going to put away your childish thinkings in the church? Because it goes on all the time in the church. It don't stop. Gossip, jealousy, envy. It's all because these, I call them individuals. Individuals in the church are into themselves instead of God. And when you're into yourself instead of God, you think like a child. You are a child. But I'm here to tell you guys right now, if your mindset is thinking like a child, pray to God to deliver you out of that frame of mind. Because there's too much silly stuff that's going on in the church today. Just too much silly stuff. I'm going to pray for those, and you guys know who you are out there. You know who you are. The congregation know who you are. God knows who you are. So get it together. Pray to God to get that filth out of you, so you can walk spiritually and get to heaven. Thank you guys again. You guys know how I do it. I get straight to the point, get my point across. But stay blessed, stay safe until next time, because you know it's going to be next time. You guys take care out there, and I'm always praying for you guys out there. I pray for everybody, not just anybody. See you guys next time.